Good everybody, this is Johnny Seville from Acorn Wealth, and this is your mid-morning update for the stock market for the 28th of August. So as you can see, yesterday we broke through some all-time record highs. Wow! As you can see, the S&P was just starting to take on those momentum characteristics, holding above those moving averages, and punched through. It did. So we are now dealing with with kind of one of those situations where we're in an inverted fallen angel, or something. We've got some kind of obviously break of the wrong direction, because that's not normally the way the market should go. Um, but as you can see, the high yield bonds have remained strong. We had that. What we talked last week about the fact we were crossing over the 200-day moving average for the first time all year, and that was obviously going to give it some strength. So we're certainly going to have. Well, it certainly looks at this point anyway that we're going to have a bit more time left on this bull market. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the next open range be bullish. Um, so that's basically across the board looking really good. And obviously the longs have done extremely well. I mean, wow, TNDM. I mean, remember we've had this since $3.33, up another 7% yesterday. Absolutely awesome. This one just keeps on going. So that's looking great. RGSE, which I bought last week um, on. On Friday is looking really, really good. So as you can see, obviously that surged. I think it was as a high of almost 50% yesterday, and is up another 10% roughly today. So that's looking really, really good. I'm continuing to hold this one. A bit more of a penny stock play on that one, but tons of insider buying. Of course, the other one, which is a bit more of a speculative play, which I also hold, CURR. Again, we bought this 2 weeks ago. This is still looking really good. Now up to $4, almost $4 today. So that's up another, what's that? 6.76% so far today. Again, I'm in this personally, and continuing to hold. Actually, sorry, no, we have this in our corporate trading account, and continuing to hold this one. But that's looking really good. Obviously, being able to break through $3, held that support beautifully, and continuing to push. GEVO is trying to gear up here. As you can see, just kind of, which I also hold. I bought this last week as well. You can see it's holding along the support line, looking really good. KALV is trying to prove itself. I'm in this one as well. As you can see, had a really good push to $19. So remember, if you remember last week, we talked about this being at a partial profit-taking zone, a partial profit-taking zone because we were up at this double top, right up in this area. So again, this of course is the value of taking short-term profit, because after we've had this run, my entry price in this one was 10.05. You may have gotten into it a little bit earlier, perhaps, but I got in at 10.05. You can see the resistance right there, sharp resistance between 18 and 20, which is again why we suggested, hey, possibly looking at taking some profit there. And as you can see, went straight into the middle there, right at $19, and pulled back to 15. Now it's still recovering, and I'm still holding a position here. But again, you can see that's why there's nothing wrong with considering taking some off the table. You get a lovely little potential. Well, if you're into $10, it would be 90% return or close to, and then you still get the benefit of hanging on for this next potential attempt at the resistance. So we'll see that where that one goes from now. It's just trying to fight off that bounce off of the 9-day support. Go looking really good. As you can see, if this is able to, this is where it's gonna struggle. Right here, fallen angel pattern. It's gonna try and break through these two levels of resistance, and just kind of punch through. So, but so far so good, holding the moving averages really well. Obviously, a momentum pattern, breaking out of some oscillation levels. So, looking really interesting. MCC. This one's holding really strong. Again, beautiful momentum pattern. This one's one we've obviously one we really like, just from a momentum standpoint. It's just continuing to push, looking really good. It's now broken above a new momentum resistance as well, which is the moving average. You can see it just broke through yesterday, as well, now holding above oscillation resistance, which is the horizontal there just underneath $4. So really, really nice way this is forming up. Beautiful patterns forming here. So obviously that's an existing long as well. So looking great. And then the last little update before we chat about some new ones. Obviously, FLDM, which was our downward channel breakout pattern we talked about last week. Last week on Wednesday night. Obviously, this had a incredible breakthrough, punching through resistance there. Awesome. And then continuing its move, absolutely sweet. So that one's in the go too. So there's FLDM. Now, obviously, just a quick review on the new ones yesterday. If you didn't check it out already, yesterday we texted out that we liked. There was a couple we did like for new potentials. Now this actually was not on the list. Sorry, this was one I'm mentioning to you now. But TROV. This is a speculative one. If this breaks above 87 cents, this could be an interesting long. There's a lot of insider buying on this one. There's a whole ton of insider buying. In fact, if you check it out, let me just quickly. Yeah, there we go. TROV. Ton of insider buying. 182% purchase from the director. 53%, 278%, 23%. There's obviously broad spread buying all over. Now, even though the dollar figures aren't much, the percentages are big. So this could be, again, it's just more of a speculative setup, but keep an eye on it. VRML is another one. There we go. It's a lot lower price stock. Also, and as you can see, this one's just breaking out. We issued an alert that looked good at the end of about half an hour before market close yesterday. Up 4.5% so far today. And again, if it can break that 50-day moving average, that could really give it an interesting surge. Once again, if you go and have a look at their insiders. Ba, 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 ba. There you go. Once again, you can see 27% purchase, $2.8 million from one 10% owner, 29% purchase, $2.1 million from another 10% owner. Each of these are at $1. You can see it's fallen further since then. This chief financial officer then, for the first time ever, decided he'd put his money in, which is always a good sign when the CFO decides now's the right time. Because usually they're the more conservative types, right? So there you go. The CFO's jumping in for the first time ever. Brand new purchase, 52 grand. You got the CEO increasing his position by 31%, and then or his or her, looks like a her, and then 120% again. At 52 cents, 51 cents, the CFO buys some more, decides to double dip, popping another 45 grand in there. So good buying activity and good percentages. So again, this one could be quite interesting and maybe just starting to turn around, especially given the way that the market's moved. This could be a good. This we could be putting in a bottom here, and as you can see, as the stock goes lower, the money flow actually going higher. So there's divergence in the smart money, which is awesome. So that's the second one. So again, that's already an active since we liked that yesterday towards the close. I think it was about 60 cents at the time. Doing well, obviously up to 65 cents so far this morning, and so I'd be looking. We'll look at a stop signal here in probably just in around below the low here, about 54 cents. I'd be looking at, and obviously a momentum setup. Okay. Um, NVTA also really doing really well. Obviously getting out of the pennies and going up to the higher dollars. 12. Obviously, this was something we liked if it broke through $12. Um, and this is just going off like a rock star so far. Again, you can see if I just give you a bit of perspective, this has come from it's had a big drop before, but look, the all-time this kind of resistance right here at $12 was the thing to beat. Now, obviously, I mentioned for those of you that were in the class last week, I mentioned that I liked it as an aggressive entry right there when it was at $11. So obviously it's done really well. It's already up 22% from where we found it at last week on Wednesday. If you jumped, I said the conservative entry was probably to a break above 12. Just because that was waiting for it to actually break resistance. Even if you got in there, it's still going up, and it still looks good even now. So again, this is NVTA, and as you can see here, there is some selling. It's relatively small on a percentage basis, and as you can see, it was all down at 696. So it might have just been some fear-based selling or what have you. In terms of the bigger dollars, you have some small selling, but fairly big buying there around 5 million. So it's not as much of an insider play as the other ones, but nonetheless, technically I really like it, and there's a mix there. So obviously it's doing really well too. Um, so that's one to look at. Obviously, you got TROV, VRML. Again, going into the higher prices, ANDX, which is something which we've talked about a few times in the past. Keep your eye on this one. Again, this is if this goes higher, if this breaks above say $52, this is looking great and could be a long to $61.43. That's based on a downward channel breakout. As you can see, the money flow down the bottom looking really good. It's breaking strongly positive. That's divergent because as you can see, the previous high, smart money was lower. Now you can see that we haven't gone much higher at all, but there's in fact that high is the same, but the smart money indicator down the bottom is much higher. So that divergence looks really good. And so yeah, if this breaks above 52, I'd have a long target of 61.43, and I'd consider a stop loss at 49.83. Again, that's all based on the pattern, which is awesome because I mean that's something you could preset now. You don't have to look at it again. If it triggers, your money's being managed for you by the strategy, and that's the beauty of this. Is it's all about using patterns to say, hey, where would the pattern tell me to get in? Where would the pattern be proven wrong? And where's the highest probability of that pattern to go? You're not having to use any emotion at all. You're following the rules that work to tell you when to get in, when to get out, and or when the highest probability is of doing those things. So you can actually sit back and enjoy your day instead of having to watch this stuff, unless you want to. Anyway, so there's ANDX. So TROV, VRML, NVTA, ANDX. Obviously, there's plenty there to look at. I've got a whole watch list full of these setups. So take a look at those if you like. So we'll be taking a look at those after the market closed today and in these following days this week as things start to move. You can if one last one you can take a look at for something those of you who like the smaller price stocks. The other one I'm watching closely is PULM. PULM is just starting to move today as well. Over these last 2 days was up 11% yesterday and up 5% so far today. From a speculative set from for a speculative setup, again, it's got uh, it's got some it's got some qualities of what I call a fallen angel pattern, and those just always appeal to me. And I haven't bought this one yet, but I am considering that. And as you can see, it would be a speculative setup. So depending on what kind of stocks you like, obviously we like to give a good variety of the lower price ones and the higher price ones. So there's something for everybody. Um, you know. Uh, Now, it's not because I like buying 50-cent stocks. I actually much more prefer buying $30 stocks. I just prefer to buy them when they're 50 cents on their way to $30. You know what I mean? And again, you can see that we've had quite a number of those that have worked out that way this year. So it's been sticking to the guns. And again, if you're not a member of these alerts, and maybe you're receiving this report for the first time, you definitely want to be. Again, we have offered a um, a trial of our alert service, which is $97 for the month, which includes 1 month of alerts. Which is comes out. We have trading room on a Tuesday and a Thursday. Tuesday and a Thursday. Okay, that is on at 4 p.m. Pacific time, where we go for an hour, where we analyze the markets, talk about what's going on, and go through the whole structure of where we feel things are going to go next. Talk about our favorite setups, ones that I might be looking to buy for the next day, and all the reasons why. We then send videos out like this 2 or 3 times a week with new alerts. We also send out text messages during the day, like I did yesterday, with any intraday setups we might find. Um, and so that's daily alerts. You have the trading room on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and obviously text alerts as well. So all of those things are included. So if you'd like to be getting videos and ideas like this on a regular basis, you can enroll for $97. We also include the Smart Money Indicator, which you can see down the bottom, which is programmed in NinjaTrader, Trade Thinkorswim, all of the above. So there you go. You can see indicator plugged into NinjaTrader, TradeStation, Metastock, Incredible Charts, Thinkorswim, TradingView, TC2000. You've got it all there. And once again, you can see that that's what you'll be included. So you'll have the access to these alerts, which access to Trading Room every Tuesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Trade Room sessions cover current market and sector performance, daily written emails on the US market outlook and current trade setups, videos like this 2 or 3 times a week with new setups and breakdowns of previous setups, text message alerts. You'll also have access to our membership portal where you can look at all of the live charts on the alerts that we've been sent out. You've got everything. So again, it's only $97. If you're not a fully fledged member of Acorn, give that a go. $97, acornwealthcorp.com/now. Buy yourself something nice. All right, we'll see you all in Trading Room tonight, and for those of you enrolling today, you'll get an invite for that as well. Have a terrific evening, terrific day, and we'll see you all soon. Happy trading.